The Northwoods of Wisconsin have always carried a quiet power. Endless stretches of pine and maple forests, glacial lakes that reflect the sky like dark mirrors, and miles of land where cell service fades and the modern world feels distant. For generations, hunters, fishermen, and locals have spoken in hushed tones about something else that lives out there, something ancient, watchful, and rarely seen. This is the mystery of the portal by the lake, a place where strange forces converge and where Bigfoot activity is said to be more than just legend. It begins near a remote lake tucked deep into northern Wisconsin, far from tourist cabins and marked trails. Locals don't advertise its location. They simply say, "You'll know it when you feel it." People who visit describe an immediate change in the atmosphere. The forest grows unnaturally quiet, as if birds and insects have collectively decided to stop making noise. The air feels heavier, charged, and time itself seems to slow. Many who camp nearby report restless nights filled with vivid dreams, strange lights moving across the water, and an overwhelming sense of being watched. Bigfoot sightings in Wisconsin date back centuries, long before the creature had a name. Native American tribes of the region told stories of large, hair-covered beings known as the stone giants, or hairy men. These beings were said to live between worlds, appearing when the balance of nature was disturbed. They were not always violent, but they were powerful, intelligent, and deeply connected to the land. Some legends suggest they could step in and out of our reality, using sacred places, natural portals, to move unseen. The lake at the center of this mystery is believed by some researchers to be one of those portals. Over the past 50 years, reports around the lake have followed a chilling pattern. Campers hear heavy footsteps circling their tents at night, accompanied by deep, rhythmic breathing. Others describe wood knocks echoing across the water, not random, but deliberate, as if part of a communication system. Hunters have found massive footprints along muddy shorelines that vanish abruptly, as though the creature simply disappeared mid-stride. One of the most unsettling accounts comes from a local fisherman who had spent decades on northern Wisconsin lakes. Late one autumn evening, as fog rolled low across the water, he noticed ripples moving against the current. Then, standing at the tree line, he saw a massive silhouette, well over 7 feet tall. It didn't charge or flee. It watched him. He described its eyes as reflecting light with an intelligence that made his blood run cold. Moments later, the fog thickened, and the figure was gone. No sound, no tracks, just silence. What makes this area different from other Bigfoot hotspots is the frequency of high strangeness events. People don't just report sightings. They report missing time, watches stop working, batteries drain instantly, compasses spin without reason. Some claim to hear voices calling their names from the forest, mimicking familiar loved ones. Paranormal investigators who have visited the site suggest the Bigfoot activity may be linked to something far more complex than an undiscovered animal. The theory of interdimensional Bigfoot has gained traction here. According to this idea, Bigfoot is not simply a flesh and blood creature but a being capable of moving between dimensions. The portal by the lake may be a thin place where our world overlaps with another. This could explain why physical evidence is so rare despite numerous encounters. It could also explain why witnesses often feel fear mixed with awe, as if encountering something that does not fully belong to our reality. One former park ranger shared an experience that still haunts him. During a routine patrol near the lake, he heard what sounded like a child crying deep in the woods. As he followed the sound, the forest grew darker and unnaturally still. Suddenly, a powerful odor, musky and rotten, filled the air. He felt a pressure in his chest and an overwhelming urge to turn back. When he did, he glimpsed movement between the trees. Something massive, crouched, watching him. He left the area immediately and later requested a transfer, refusing to return. Skeptics argue that these stories are the result of isolation, imagination, and natural phenomena. The Northwoods are vast and unforgiving, capable of playing tricks on the human mind. Yet even skeptics struggle to explain the consistency of the reports. Different people, from different backgrounds, decades apart, describing the same sounds, the same feelings, the same towering figure near the water's edge. There are also reports of strange lights hovering above the lake at night, soft orbs that move silently before vanishing into the trees or plunging into the water. Some believe these lights mark the opening of the portal itself, moments when the boundary between worlds weakens. Bigfoot sightings often spike shortly after these lights are seen, as if something has crossed over. Perhaps the most chilling aspect of the mystery is how the forest seems to protect its secret. Trails appear to change. GPS coordinates don't always line up. People trying to return to the exact spot of an encounter often find themselves lost or unable to locate the area again. It's as though the land chooses when and to whom it reveals the truth. Whether Bigfoot is a flesh and blood creature, a guardian of nature, or an interdimensional traveler, the Northwoods of Wisconsin holds something deeply unexplained. The portal by the lake remains quiet, waiting. And those who venture too close may find themselves questioning not just what lives in the forest, but how many worlds exist alongside our own.